Poboy Special here, and have I got a really good video for you. Coming right up. Alright, what we were able to do is get hold of this Chiappa Rhino. It's a 357 Magnum, and what is so unique and different and why I wanted to get a hold of this is because I don't know if you can see this, but it actually shoots the round from the bottom rather than the top like a standard revolver, like a normal revolver. It comes down from the bottom here. Normally it's in the top right here. This one's way down here. Alright, you can see there's nothing in it. So, you say, okay, so what? It's just another revolver, and okay, it's a little bit different, but I want to know the difference between that and a standard revolver. Nothing in it. Right? And you can see how it's on the top here. The projectile comes out the top, goes in right here, and in the Chiappa it comes out the bottom. And I want to know the difference. Is there a difference because of that? Is there a difference in velocity? Is there a difference in performance? So we're going to test it out. 357, and I've got one more really cool test for you while I've got these here. Everybody knows, and I'm going to set this over here. Everybody knows that on a revolver, if you put your hand at the side and fire it, it will burn the snot out of your hand because of the gas escaping from the side here. And I'm going to prove it to you by taking a regular index card. I will tape it to the side and fire it, and you'll see what I'm talking about and how much burn there is from a 357 revolver, or any revolver really. But alright, then I'm going to do that with this one, and what I really want to know is, does this one do the same thing? I see the gap, there is a gap. Does it do the same thing? I'm sure it will, but is it significantly less? Is it significantly more? Or is it about the same? So I'm going to do the same to this one. Does it make a difference with it being on the bottom here than on the top? So how much gas will escape? How much will burn the card? That's what we're going to do. We're going to test the velocity difference, see how much velocity difference maybe there is or isn't. We're going to check the burn, and let's just have fun shooting it. Coming right up. Alright, so let's get some of the technical aspects out of the way. And first of all, yes, there is a noticeable difference between the two. They're both 357 Magnum, by the way, and they're both revolvers, obviously. And obviously, there's nothing in it. So, here's the noticeable difference. In case you say, oh, wait a minute, if you look at the, yes, I know, here it is. All right, I'm going to measure this. So this one is a 2-inch barrel. All right, this one is noticeably different. It is a 3-inch barrel. So there's a 1-inch difference in length in the barrel. Now, is that going to make a significant difference in velocity? Obviously, there'll be some probably difference in velocity from a 1-inch longer barrel than the other, but is that 1 inch going to make a significant difference in 357? And that's what we're going to find out. And you say, okay, well, what ammo are you going to use? Because obviously the ammunition is going to make a difference. I understand that as well. And the ammo that we're going to be using is this Ted Nugent ammo. Yes, Ted Nugent makes his own ammo. It says 357 Magnum right here. It is a 158 grain spear UHP. It says velocity right here is 1560 feet per second. So 1560 feet per second. Energy is 858 foot-pounds. Lot 7381. Alright, so there you go. And if you want to know what a UHP is, it is, there you go. It's a hollow point, but it's not really a hollow point. So we're going to shoot 5 rounds out of each to get a average velocity and see what kind of difference, and let the chips fall where they may. Alright, at the beginning I failed to recognize what the other one was. Obviously this one was the Chiappa, however you want to pronounce it, and this is the Rhino 30 D as in David S. I don't know if you can see that right there, 357 Magnum. And you say, well, what's the other one? I'm glad you asked. Here we go. We'll tell you what it is. This is a Rossi. It says it right here. It's a Rossi, and it is also the 357 Magnum. You see that right here. Alright, so you have a Chiappa, a Rhino, and a Rossi. So Rhino versus Rossi. And right away, I will tell you, without going and shooting, this one, to me, seems a little bit heavier, believe it or not, than this one. I think this is more of an alloy, and I think this is more steel. So just right off the bat, even though this one's an inch longer in barrel, it seems a little bit more balanced, and it seems a little bit lighter, believe it or not, than this one. Now, the person that let me borrow the Rhino told me that after shooting it, that they noticed difference in recoil in a regular 357 revolver, in that when shooting this one, the recoil comes straight back at you rather than up. And we're going to test that out. Obviously, we're going to go shoot it, and I'll let you know the difference between recoil in the Rhino and the Rossi, and I'll let you know if it does come straight back or if it comes up like a normal revolver does. We're going to get on to all that. So let's get to it. Alright, I'm going to back up a little bit because you need to see this. What I'm going to do is I'm going to show you what it does to the paper. Alright, and what I'm going to do is, let me turn the Crony on. 1058 was the average out of the Rossi. So like I said, I've got a index card here, and what I'm going to do is, all I'm going to do is hold it to the side like that while we shoot it, and you'll see what happens. Alright, here we go. Good gosh. One, 11-11. And you can see the burn mark. It shredded that really, but look at the burn mark there. I don't know if you can see it or zoom in on it, but that is what it did. So 11-11. All right, now comes the Rhino. 1335. 1335. Alright, and here's the cardboard, or here's the index card as promised. We'll hold it to the side and see what happens. See, you saw what happened with the Rossi. Now let's see what happens with the Rhino. So we'll put it to the side here, just like we did with the other one. And let's see what happens. Good gosh. $11.27 was that one. $11.27. It just disintegrated the crap out of this paper. There's nothing left of it. I mean, there's just nothing left. And you can see the nasty burn marks that it left right here. So now you know not to put your hand near the side of any of these revolvers, even this one. And I believe that is, yep, that's all 5 rounds. All right. So we'll take it back in, give you your averages, and wrap it up. So here's the takeaways, my final thoughts of all this. There was almost 150 feet per second difference between the Rhino and the Rossi. Rhino obviously having the increased velocity, and yes, it was an increase of 1 inch barrel length. Is that enough to increase it by 150 feet per second alone, or is it because of the brand and how it's made, because it's underneath, not over top? I don't know. This was just a fun video. I was curious. Now you know, and you found out with me. It was fun to shoot, and I will say this. The Rossi was brutal. The recoil after 5 rounds, I mean, I didn't want no more. It wasn't pleasant to shoot. The Rhino, on the other hand, was not brutal. Even though it's lighter, it was fairly pleasant. It wasn't brutal. I wouldn't want to shoot it all day, but one, because you can't find the ammo, but number two, it was pleasantly mild. So I say the Rhino is lighter. The Rhino had more feet per second velocity, and if you saw when I put the index card right next to it, it just blew it. I blew it away, shattered it. Impressive. Now, it did take a little bit of getting used to as far as aiming, but once you have that down, not a problem. So there you go. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did, because you saw it here on the Poboy Special channel.